Established in 2004, over 55 of the top T&M companies sponsored and developed this technology, and now there are more than 3,600 products in over 50 different product families. All LXI devices behave the same when they connect to LAN. All LXI devices come with an IVI driver for easier startup and programming. And most LXI devices even have web page monitoring and control. LAN connectivity can be easy and inexpensive. But why are these facts so important? Well, here's your situation. You'd love to work here in the comfort of this office, but your test systems are way over there and in a noisy and cold environment. Maybe even a support test system is in another country. Well, how could you achieve this goal? Well, that test system PC, you can remote log into the test system PC, and then you can have a separate private LAN for all of your LXI devices so that they are shielded from the rest of the LAN in the company. IVI drivers do provide quick access to that functionality. And when you're debugging your code, it's really nice to have those web pages for monitoring what's happening in the device. Possibly you're getting the wrong signal on the scope. You can see that right on the web page. And you look through your web page for switching, you find that you've closed the wrong switch combination. You correct it and you're on your way. But how would you get started in this kind of situation? Well, like I said, we'll focus just on one LXI device. What do you need to get ready? How would you connect to LAN? How would you even find that device on the LAN? And then what can you do once you find it? We'll talk later about a full test system in another video. So you've got your office computer and it's connected to the company LAN. What you need is a couple of more LAN cables, a LAN switch or a router, and the LXI device. So what happens when you connect to that company LAN? Well, the computer and the LXI device both ask the DHCP server for an IP address. And if it doesn't get one, well, what went wrong? Sometimes you might get an LXI device that you've borrowed from someone, and it might have a static IP address. So that's going to cause you a problem. But LXI Reset is going to come to your rescue. So what does it do? Well, it defaults the instrument to looking for that DHCP server. And it also resets any passwords you might have set for locking out unwelcome users. So that LAN reset is either going to be on the front panel or on the rear panel as a recess button. If the instrument has a display underneath the menu for maybe system or utility, you'll be able to find a LAN reset combination. And if you press it, in either case, if there's an external button or a menu choice, you always have a safety mechanism to keep you from resetting the instrument unnecessarily. Okay, so we're back to DHCP server mode. We connect to the LAN, and you got your IP address. Well, what is it? Well, there's a couple of ways that you could find that IP address. If it does have a display, you could go down into that system or that utility menu. You could find the LAN settings, and it would tell you, as you see in this illustration on the left here. But there are discovery tools for LXI devices. The LXI Consortium has a lightweight discovery tool that's available for free for download. But since you usually need I/O libraries in order to communicate with instruments, companies like Keysight and National Instruments and others also provide discovery tools. So let's go through a quick demonstration using this configuration. We're going to connect to the LAN, to the company LAN with the instrument. We're going to use the LXI discovery tool, and we're going to bring up a web page. For this demonstration, I've kept an image of the LAN configuration we're using. So the LXI device has connected to the LAN, and has been given an IP address by the DHCP server. So to find out what that IP address is, we'll use the LXI discovery tool. And on that tool, there actually is a link to the LXI consortium website. So while we're searching for the device, we'll just peruse this a moment. The pointer took us to the location for all the various LXI guides, both getting started and advanced, upon which this and other presentations are based upon. If we click on the About LXI link, it takes us to another page where we can bring up the discovery tool and actually find the location of the software that we can download and install to be able to run this, this discovery tool on the computer. No other software is necessary other than what's listed here. So it looks like the instrument was found. If we click on this particular line, it brings up a web page, and there's the welcome page for the LXI device. And here's its IP address. Every LXI device has a welcome page upon which there are several things that are required. One is links to the configuration, the LAN configuration. If we click that, it tells us the current configuration of how this device connected to the LAN. If we want to change that configuration, that is, if we want to change to a static IP address, there's usually a button somewhere like here to edit that configuration, resave it, restart the LAN, and the instrument will come up in that new configuration. So let's go back to the welcome page. Another requirement is an identification of the device. I have a web page up, I have an IP address, but if I have multiple devices in a rack, I won't know which one is which. So if I enable this identification indicator on the device itself, you will see a blinking LED, or in this case, the instrument has a display. It'll show some sort of blinking annunciator on the display. Web monitoring and control is also present in most LXI devices. If I press web control, for this particular device, it has a virtual front panel. Other devices might have drop-down boxes that you can click and select various combinations of the instrument. As you can see, this virtual representation of the instrument is showing the blinking LAN, indicating that this is the device that we're actually talking to. So with this particular page, you can actually monitor and control the LXI device. And if you want to lock other people out and keep them from tampering with this device or changing its LAN configuration, there is an LXI web page password that can be set.
You've now learned how to connect to an LXI device. There are additional videos on the topics above, and there are papers available with much greater detail found at the LXI Consortium website. Refer to this link for access to both videos and documentation. Thank you for your time.